Do you want to turn off the shiny light behind me?
Just move a little bit.
Let's turn off the shiny light.
No, I actually like light from this side.
That light.
Wait, guys,
It's like,
just a moment. We are starting. One more thing. Today we decided to run the class from home, and it's easier when we have our Katya helping us with this.
mhm.
Okay.
So now I need to move this way.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our class 2, ACI 6. I hope all the translators are set up. It looks like you.
Actually, I think it's easier if you can we move it slowly? That way. I don't have it. Well, that way, like the light does it.
Okay. So let's start. Please close your eyes and think about your life for a moment. Just think where you are. Oh, are you happy? Are you unhappy? What are the good and bad things that you go through right now in your life? And make a decision to use what you will hear in practice to practice it and to reach a point in your life when all your problems will be solved because you will apply this knowledge. And once you solve your problems, you will help everybody else. Because you will understand the nature of reality. Open your eyes.
I've got to turn on the other air conditioner. It's going to be too hot in here for me. I'm sweating.
Then it will be a little bit noisy.
If we can turn on that one, it'll be okay.
It is on.
Oh, is it? It doesn't feel it's hot here.
Yeah, today is a hot day in Chicago, and we're suffering a little bit from the temperature. Okay, so and I promised to Katya that I will be sharing the slides. I hope I can do it.
This is a really, really great class. I know I say it all the time, but I mean it this time. uh one of the really fun things about the Diamond Cutter Sutra is Geshe Michael's talking about the biggest things. It's like, how do you get enlightened? What's the direct perception of emptiness? It's really profound. I mean, particularly, like if you're new, it's reasonable to have some doubts about whether the direct perception of emptiness is possible, or whether Geshe Michael has done it or not. Frankly, I've been around for 25 years. I'm convinced. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. It's like, like it is up, and down, down. I mean, it's black and white. It's really obvious to me that he's done it. And it's really exciting to, excuse me, my throat's a little sore. It's really exciting to listen to the classes and see the material that he's put together for us, explaining it. It can be really, like my son said, it's esoteric. And I'm like, well, like meaning difficult to see. And I'm like, well, it's difficult for you because you didn't do the homeworks. uh, uh, it's really a clear explanation. And uh, it, I mean, frankly, like I love Christianity. I loved my time with the Episcopal Church, and I love the Eucharist and the Christian traditions. And it's and we every time I see there are a lot of very beautiful stone churches here in this neighborhood, and every time I see one, it makes me happy. Like I want to live there and work there. You know, I want to live in one of those rectories because it's just such a happy feeling. Uh, and it's clear if you understand what the direct perception of emptiness is that uh, Jesus did it, and other Christian figures have done it over the centuries. But it got lost somewhere. Exactly what was happening. You can read the Gnostic Gospels, and they explain it better. But it's also clear that, frankly, Buddhism and Christianity are just different branches of the same religion. And what's really remarkable, and the reason why I'm bringing it up, is that we do have these super clear explanations. I mean, it's frankly, I mean, what, 30,000 pages of explanation how to do it? I mean, if you can imagine, right? Like with Jesus, they had the four gospels, and they were secondhand accounts written down long after he'd passed, like 50 to 200 years, right? After he'd passed. But the Buddha wrote 100,000 pages of explanation. And we've still got it. It's extraordinary, right? And then if it was just 100,000 pages, I don't know, did he probably wrote in Sanskrit and maybe something earlier than that even? Uh, we wouldn't be able to access it. But we've got the English translations here. It's really super exciting uh, because it's not meant to be a historical record of what somebody else did. It's how you are going to overcome all of your problems. It's how you're going to be like happier than you can probably imagine right now.
And I know it sounds like a little bit fantastic. And
Yeah.
wait, we will get to the end of the class. It will sound even more fantastic than what he just told.
Well, like again, I was trying to have a discussion with my brothers a couple of weeks ago, and they don't have any background in this, and they're not interested. And I mean, they're very intelligent, but you say, oh yeah, you can get a body of light and be permanently happy and save every living being in the universe, and
Uh-huh.
you can't even start, right? You can't even start saying that. Uh, and and it's all possible. Yeah, thank you. Uh, it's all possible because of emptiness. Like if you understand emptiness, you understand that these things are possible. And it doesn't sound, frankly, that sexy, like emptiness. Like I don't need more emptiness. I'm got bills to pay.
Mhm.
But emptiness is what makes things possible, extraordinary things possible.
Let's start with what we finished last time,
Great.
because this
Perfect.
all
Ties
class
in.
is about the very first phrase, basically, in the sutra. Remember the question.
Mhm.
So, what there was a junior monk, Subhuti, and he, like, I also love, like, he dropped the how you call it,
Rope.
the rope from his shoulder and bowed down and said, "Oh, you are matchless. You reached your perfect enlightenment. Like, you are such a great being." So, could you please tell us how the bodhisattvas? Yeah. Oh, you're so great. Yeah, I'm great. So, but I mean, if it was played for us, then probably it's a good idea to study it. So he said that this junior monk Subhuti said, O conquering one, what of those who have entered well into the way of the Bodhisattva? That's the important word today. How shall they live? How shall they practice? And how should they keep their thoughts? So what about those bodhisattvas? Like, to be honest, when I first heard the word, I was thinking bodhisattvas, oh, this old guys, you know, from ancient times, like they were giving away their eyes, you know, like they were completely crazy. Like, okay, the last one probably was Jesus, because definitely he was a bodhisattva, right? I mean, he was a very compassionate, right, and kind and extraordinary. So maybe Jesus was the last one, maybe Muhammad, you know, up to you to decide. Doesn't exist. I have a very nice story about it. I lived in Kiev for many years, and boy, I loved the city. I was not born in Kiev. I moved there when I was 27, and it was a city of my choice because I loved it so much. So I loved in particular the churches, and the most important one is, boy, I don't know how to say it in English. Lore of Pechers or something, Pechers lore. Like Pecher is a Ukrainian word for caves. Like there is a huge temple. We've been there, by the way.
Oh, was that the big one that we went to?
Yeah, on the hills.
Yeah, the big church, the big white church.
I mean, there lots of churches. Yeah. So, and there were caves, and still they have many caves, and monks would lock themselves, something like Bill did for 3 years. Just they had caves. Bill had a very nice house.
Yeah.
In a very hot and dry desert.
No air conditioning there either.
Kind of karma, right?
Yeah.
So and I went to there. I really wanted to see what they were doing there, how it looks like, you know, these tiny little caves. They still have their bodies there. So, and at the end, I said, wow, it's so exciting. It's amazing. Like so many people, I don't know, maybe 100, maybe more. Like, where are the monks that are doing those retreats right now? Where are the new caves, you know, where you have monks that are alive? And I get you know, a site like that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
That's what people used to do.
Yeah, people used to be crazy. We are not crazy our times, except
maybe a few of my friends.
So and yeah, Kiev Pechers Klavr, probably this is how they call it in English. It's a beautiful place. I hope all the wars will come to the end, and we will have a possibility to maybe to go there all together and to see this place. This is my really heart wish.
Yeah, I love churches. I did my first retreat in an Episcopal monastery. Very beautiful. Very, very profound event.
So who are those bodhisattvas, right? I mean, are they these dead bodies in Kiev or somewhere else? There were many places where people would do weird stuff. Or is the Buddha the last one, or Jesus or Muhammad? And here, what we know from this teaching is a bodhisattva has a definition actually, and the definition of a bodhisattva, it will not help you right now, but it will be useful. Is the one who possesses something called bodhicitta. So if you are a person who has bodhicitta, then people can call you a bodhisattva. naturally, the next question is, what is the bodhicitta?
Well, there's also it goes on a little more than that. It's
Yeah. Let's. I actually hate complicated words. Because when I was very young, I wrote thesis, and I am getting after that I was done. I'm getting irritated when I hear complicated constructions, difficult to digest. So actually, bodhisattva is a spiritual warrior, and you will find in every single spiritual path something like some kind of word or phrase for these guys, right? Like I don't know, warrior of the. I'm thinking about Native Americans, right? They had warriors of the spirit, right? So somebody who understands more about the reality and has their path, right? And bodhicitta, usually if the audience is not aware of the five paths and why seeing emptiness directly is important and what is the definition of enlightenment, etc. So we say, like what we would say, compassion, right? Love and compassion, we would say, but this is a little bit more profound than that. So
oh, there we go. Somebody did
this
that for
is
us.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good.
So this is the definition, the formal definition of the bodhicitta. It's a wish to become totally, matchlessly, perfectly enlightened for the benefit of all living beings. If you read Tibetan, just for the good luck, Semkia, Semkiepa Ni Shandun Chir Yandak Dzogpe Janchup Du. This is what bodhicitta is. So it's interesting because how do I know if I have it or not?
Well, it's boy, if you have the real thing, it's not subtle. It
If you don't know that you have it, you don't have it. This is
well,
to say.
it I mean, there's two different things. There's like there's the wish to achieve enlightenment, but so there's deceptive bodhicitta and there's ultimate bodhicitta, and you can have like real bodhicitta without having had the direct perception of emptiness. And it's different.
And we will call it fake. It's actually real,
Well, no,
but we will go into details.
so you can have real bodhicitta without the direct perception of emptiness, and it's different than reaching nirvana or reaching enlightenment. And I mean, frankly, when you get to the higher teachings, they have a really profound explanation of what's happening with your inner body when you have the when you actually achieve bodhicitta.
Even on a physical level.
Your body, it's an extremely profound event. Like you see every living being in the universe, and you know you're going to save them all. Like it's not subtle, right? And so it you see pictures of Jesus with the sacred core, right? The Sacred Heart, like a flaming heart. That's a rough
idea
of what's happening. Your heart opens up and goes out to every living being, and you know without any doubt that you're committed. I mean, like every living being. They'd say it takes just a matter of minutes to see every living being because time itself is empty, right? Like it's possible to see every living being in a few minutes because.
So why somebody would want to be a bodhisattva in the first place, right? Why is it so cool?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I want to see every living being. in a few minutes. It sounds pretty cool to me.
And if it doesn't sound pretty cool for you, I will tell you why. Because only a bodhisattva can reach enlightenment. If you will not become a bodhisattva, you cannot reach enlightenment. Impossible.
Well, and if you know, um, oh my gosh, Master Shantideva's statement that, all the happiness in the world comes from seeking the happiness of others, and all the suffering in the world comes from seeking the happiness of yourself. Well, then it becomes pretty obvious that, wow, if I was genuinely dedicated to removing the suffering of every living being, well, how much happiness would you have coming to yourself then, if your intention was honest, right? And this is it's part of why even talking about it is hard unless you understand emptiness, at least on an intellectual level, because I mean, every living being, right? It sounds crazy. And it's part of the reason why, and this was interesting, Geshe talked about it in Bodh Gaya. He said part of the reason why reaching bodhicitta is something that's associated with the direct perception of emptiness, right? So you can have the direct perception of emptiness. So you go into meditation, in a yogic direct perception, you see emptiness directly. It takes about 20 minutes. You come out. Well, you can come out and either have bodhicitta or not have bodhicitta. You don't have to have bodhicitta, the experience of bodhicitta, to have the direct perception of emptiness. But it's common for you to have this experience of your heart opening up and going out to every living being after the direct perception of emptiness, because you understand emptiness for the first time at a direct level. You understand, okay, because things are empty, it's possible for me to save every living being. And so that tends to trigger the event. It makes it possible, which I thought was really,
Uh,
very profound.
and I think for those of you who are for the first time with us, just open your mind and do not try to understand everything from the first time, because it's probably not possible unless you have very strong seeds. Just listen to what we say, and then in couple classes you will understand much more. So basically what Bill was talking about is there are several possibilities how you can get enlightened, and different parts of your experience can develop with different speed. Like for some people, they feel more like this desire to help everybody else without really understanding how the world functions. For other people, they are more intellectual and they pick the ideas how it really functions faster than their heart opens, right? And so for some of them, they can have faster either in the how to say wisdom, right, or the activity side. So there are people who have direct perception of emptiness without bodhicitta, and then they have to catch up.
For people who've heard the terms before, that's the Hinayana path, the lower vehicle. They're just trying to reach nirvana. The Mahayana path are the people who are trying to become totally enlightened for the benefits of all living beings, the greater path.
Yeah. And Yulia has a question. So you don't have to be a bodhisattva in order to become Arya, but you have to be a bodhisattva in order to become Buddha, right?
Yeah, enlightened.
Right.
Yeah.
But basically, in order to become a Buddha, or an enlightened being, an angel, you can say, you have to to be both, right? You have to be a bodhisattva and you have to have the direct perception of emptiness. You need both.
Right. So nirvana, somebody who's reached nirvana, they've learned to meditate deeply. They've been keeping their ethics very well. They've been studying emptiness, and they have the direct perception of emptiness. And then they use that to get rid of their mental afflictions completely.
They're too excited. Sorry, yeah, translators.
Yeah, it's so they get rid of their mental afflictions entirely. Done. Done with anger, done with jealousy, done with the other 83,998 mental afflictions that we have. Yeah, hard to translate that, right? If you're not used to the numbers. Anyway, and so then enlightenment is different than nirvana, right? Enlightenment, yeah, you've also, in order to do that, you've had the direct perception of emptiness, just like somebody who's seen nirvana, but you have bodhicitta on top of it. Mm-hmm. And then what you get with this is you're going to reach full omniscience. It's not possible to reach full omniscience without bodhicitta. People who have nirvana have subtle obstacles to reaching omniscience. And they say that if you reach nirvana, and then you can kind of stay in this peace where you're just kind of like in this pleasant, like, what would that be like? Like you're kind of
under the drugs, you know.
Yeah, you're kind of removed from samsara, but
we'll never suffer anymore.
But they say that eventually they get woken up and have to go through the process and get fully enlightened.
Enlightened beings will come and will make you study again. Mm-hmm. What do we have other options? I mean,
well, yeah, you can see in samsara and suffer.
Like, why would you need this weird stuff, but be a spiritual warrior and have this wish to become totally enlightened that we call bodhicitta? You have other options, basically. If you don't study, if you don't do anything, then you know what will happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
you will get old and die and become a picture somewhere in the drawer, you know.
Yeah, that gets thrown away when people like don't remember who you are.
Who was it? Who was this lady? Blonde-haired, like blue-eyed lady. Probably one of the relatives, I don't know really. Yeah, okay, let's just throw the pictures away. We don't know anymore.
It's pretty simple, really. All of your problems are coming from some sort of ignorance, right? We have some wrong idea.
Have a problem with a translator, I think. Do we have a Ukrainian translator? Okay, probably Alessia is translating. Or Taras, I don't know. Do we have Ukrainian translation? Okay. Okay.
So all of your problems, like everything that bothers you, my bad back, my wife who yells at me in the kitchen.
I don't yell at him.
No, she doesn't.
I actually don't yell at anybody.
No, you don't. Well, frankly, I got rid of that problem. My first wife did yell at me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hard to imagine now, isn't it?
Yeah, I cannot imagine.
Well, see, but that's just it. Like, was my first wife that yelled at me, was she the problem?
Yeah, of course
she was a problem, right? But why was she a problem?
Why didn't it help that you were yelling back at her?
Yeah, right. Well, see, that's just it. It's like, why did I have the problem of a wife that yelled at me? well, I yelled at other people myself. And I didn't know that. I didn't, there's the idea that, well, if I yell louder, they'll stop, right? And that's just exactly
The
the
opposite.
opposite, 180 degrees off of the direction you want to go. It's uh, there's an airplane joke. It's like pilots are always making fun of doctors who buy airplanes because they have the money to buy fancy airplanes and they don't know how to fly them. And so the joke is that a doctor flies his fancy airplane into a thunderstorm and he says, well, I'm going to do a 360-degree turn and get the heck out of here. Uh, which, if you go 360 degrees, you're just going the same direction. Uh, and so, well, anyway, pilots think it's funny. But everything we do is like that. It's like, oh, my wife's yelling at me, so I'm gonna do a 360-degree turn and yell at her, right?
Mhm.
And so you're just gonna get more yelling. And then if you understand emptiness, you can take care of that, right? Like you can have a happy marriage. You start taking care of people and you don't worry about when it's going to come back. And
Mhm.
that's on a really simple level, right? That's not complex. And you can do that with just an intellectual understanding. But when you have the direct perception of emptiness, you get much, much better at it, like dramatically better. Like Geshe Michael will say the difference between an amoeba and Einstein.
Mhm.
And I think that's possible, right? Uh,
Uh, I'm thinking about like I remember when I came to these teachings like almost 12 years ago, or exactly 12 years ago. That's funny. Um, I still had these ideas that, I will keep it as my practice, like I will do it a little bit, like 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. This is my life and this is my practice. And because I know it is important, but I have my life, But the sad, uncomfortable truth is that if you don't do anything right now about this problem that you have with the fact that we all will have to get old and die, you may not have enough time.
mm.
So, and don't be wild. Don't overdo it, but just be honest with yourself. Like, how it will end up with you if you don't do anything right now. Because first time you hear these teachings, it's exciting usually if you have seeds. Second time you think, oh, that's exciting, but I heard already.
Другий раз. Все дуже добре, але я вже чула про це.
Okay, please get the Ukrainian
Добре.
later back in the channel.
Та, будь ласка, поверніть україномовного перекладача.
I wonder if they're having internet problems.
No. Artem will fix it.
What we're doing? Somebody grab the book.
Good book. Okay.
The book.
The book. Okay. Which one do you want? So, okay, we can go on, right?
Yeah.
So basically, you don't have other options. Maybe this is the time when you should really start your spiritual journey, because it may be too late in a couple years, or even maybe faster, depending how your life is going.
One of the other things that is really interesting is that you think, okay, well, excuse me, is this possible? Right? Like, I haven't seen anybody that's done it. Well, why haven't you seen anybody that's done it? Like, you think that if like somebody had done it, like the New York Times would write about it, right? Or like there'd be like it'd be more widely known. Like, well, why is it like the 77 of us sitting here talking instead of millions of people? I mean, why do you think?
Because if you have seeds, then you will see these people. If you don't, I mean, you know what will happen? I will show you guys what will happen. This will happen.
Yeah, right. It's the pen or the chew toy, right? Like how many dogs have seen a pen?
How many dogs learned how to write?
Yeah, how many, right? Does that mean that writing's not possible? Well, of course it is. And there could be people who have had the direct perception of emptiness and people who've achieved bodhicitta and people who have, like, when you get enlightened, you're not going to be this like bag of rotting meat, right? Your body's going to be made of light. And emptiness is so powerful and your mental projections are so powerful. I mean, that it's not just like water that changes to wine, right? Like your physical body, it turns into a body of light that will never die, doesn't get old. And you could be in a room with somebody who has that body of light and not see it because you're looking at a chew toy and they're looking at a pen. It's that profound. It's really remarkable. So and then it's interesting. I hadn't seen this like earlier on. Like, I mean, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I'd wondered, well, has anybody since Lord Buddha seen emptiness directly? Did Geshe Michael do it? Then
Did he really do
did he
it?
really do it? Yeah. And then you start thinking, well, okay, maybe Nagarjuna did. And then you think, well, okay, well, maybe Jason Kappa did. And then you think, oh, well, and then okay, well, maybe
Geshe Michael is also
Geshe Michael
suspicious.
probably did it.
Probably he did it.
It was interesting here.
And he does not have mental afflictions also, maybe he's at the 8th level.
Yeah, maybe something, yeah, or higher.
Or higher.
And Chodi Lama, I mean, out of Saramay, right? The man who wrote the book that
The commentary
that we're studying. He says in his biography near the end of his life, he said, yeah, I did it. I had the direct perception of emptiness. And then, you look at his life suspiciously like Geshe Michael's. Like, he wrote a lot. And was, and apparently that's all he did was work.
Yeah.
So there have been people who've done it. And
more than you can think of.
And if you even frankly have the mental seeds, the goodness to be hearing this, it means you're close, right? Like when you see other people have it, it means you're close yourself. So
okay, so what we want to tell you is to walk this path is a little bit difficult in the beginning because you basically have to swim against the current but it gets easier and easier with the time and more happy.
Yeah.
And more interesting also.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I would never imagine I will get to spend 1 month at Saramay.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming either.
Or like we did a trip around the world without really trying hard last year.
Didn't have to do anything. Yeah, it just happened.
It just happened.
2 months traveling around the world.
And maybe not everybody loves jet lag. We also don't like.
We were jet lagged for 2 months.
Honestly, for
like 3 or 4 after that.
It was horrible. But you know what happens? Like even you still have pain in your body, you get sick time to time. Mentally, you get happier and happier. That's for sure.
Geshe doesn't seem to suffer from jet lag. I don't know if he does or not, but he doesn't seem to suffer.
Never seen him suffering. I have seen him not sleeping at all for several days. That I have seen without much, you know.
Yeah. I think it's possible you could travel and
Yeah.
feel
Okay.
fine.
So let's see another slide. Yeah.
I mean, I hope you guys see the potential for this, right? I mean, if we're right, then it's possible to solve all your problems, like all of them. In fact, if we're right, it's inevitable that someday you will.
Yeah, and it's much more cool to walk this fast than to just get old and die. So there are two kinds of the wish of bodhicitta, of the wish to become enlightened, and one is called deceptive, and another is called ultimate. Kunzup Semke and Dundam Semke in the original language. So what is deceptive is when you have intention to help everybody else and you act out of it. Basically, you take actions. So the confusing thing here, if you act and think that you want to help everybody else, this is a deceptive form of bodhicitta. It took me probably 10 years to understand why.
Yeah. But again, like when you get bodhicitta, there is a real moment, like when you have. So this is a little
deceptive is not at all low here.
Yeah, this is a little difficult.
Easy.
Okay, this is easy. Yeah, every time it's difficult, we say easy. This is
Easy.
a little easy to understand.
So yeah, it's about how you understand the nature of reality. Actually, this is why deceptive. If you think that there are just self-standing, independent of you living beings, and you have to exhaust yourself and you are not sure if you will be able to help everybody because there are too many, right? But you try, you know, like it's like a child who is told to do adult's job, right? Very cute, very sincere, will not really bring you what you want. Even though it is important, it's a step, right? And the ultimate is when you had this cool stuff called direct perception of emptiness, or you have seen the ultimate reality. And now you know for sure how it works. And now you know they are not self-existent. Anything to add?
It's related to the statement, you know, is there anybody for a bodhisattva to save? You know, and then, you know, like in the Diamond Cutter Sutra, it says, well, no, there's nobody to save, and that's why you can save them, right?
Yeah. In the reading, either you will see like it says, okay, what should this cool guy bodhisattva do in order to, like, how he or she should practice? He should save, the Lord Buddha says, he should save every living being. Pretty cool, right? I mean, considering we say that they are countless, then he doesn't stop at this. And when he will think about these living beings, he will understand there is no being to save.
Yeah, right. It's because the beings you're seeing are coming from your mental projections, right? Uh, human being,
They do
body,
exist.
they do exist, but they're coming from your mental projections, right? That you can't perceive them without your mental projections.
You cannot separate yourself from them, because a human mind actually, it does create the reality, and it's like a fountain, like you are constantly given all these projections, you are illuminating them, like putting on all the pieces around you, right?
And it's why you can save them, because if they had some quality from their own side, if they had some characteristic from their own side that was independent of your projections, well, you couldn't do anything about it, right? You wouldn't be able to save them.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, if you will get this experience after you will see emptiness directly, then you will be called an ultimate bodhisattva.
And this is, I mean, and frankly, being able to talk about these things with you is really exciting, because it's profound and it's easy. uh and it used to drive me nuts, like a lot of times, like talking about this, right? Like, or not, it didn't drive me nuts. It made me, I had a hard time understanding. It's related. Okay, well, I get that, yeah, that you're not one thing, right? Like another person's not one thing, right? Because we're made up of parts. That was fairly easy to see, but then why isn't Ina the collection of her parts, right? Well, it seems pretty obvious that she's the collection of her parts, right? I mean, it seems obvious. I mean, what else would she be other than the collection of her parts? She's not a collection of something that's not her parts. uh, and then this is really important. It took me, frankly, many years to appreciate it, but it really is. It really is quite simple if you can hold on to the idea. Ina isn't Ina until my mind labels her that way. It's just like the pen or the chew toy. It's not a pen until your mind labels it a pen, and it can't exist that way until a mind labels it. And that's the same thing for people, right? Like, it's somebody else. I see something, I see my loving wife who's happy, intelligent, and loves to help people. Somebody else could, see an entirely different person, right? Have an entirely different label to put on it. I mean, Lord Buddha could look at her and see a body of light, right? You know, uh, and it's because she's not the collection of her parts. It's a label from your mind put onto those parts, and it's really that idea is one of the critical keys to how you're going to get out of your own suffering.
Yeah, because when a bodhisattva who has deceptive or fake bodhicitta in the beginning, when they think about their past, they think, oh, I have so many beings, like I have to help, right? Countless. Oh my God, how I will make it. I will try to help Bill. I will try to help Artyom. Oh my God, there are 8 mobilians, just humans, forget about animals, insects. So how should I do it? And this is where this idea should help you, that you can do it because they are all coming from you. They're all coming from you. then you don't have to cover the whole universe with the leather. You can take on your shoes, you know, and you will not get any dirt on your feet.
Meaning you don't have to go around and cook dinner for 8 billion people on the planet. You can change your mind,
understand how it works,
and change the world.
and of course you will be helping other people,
Yeah.
but from totally different perspective, not because you are such a great being, but because you know that in order to really help them, you need to become an angel. You need to become an enlightened being. You need to evolve. I don't like enlightened, and because it doesn't really. I'm thinking as a scientist, still in my heart, in terms of evolution. You know, I like to evolve and become a body of light and totally compassionate mind that knows everything, right? Omniscient.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that your mind and your actions are that powerful. That really can you really change? I mean, you know, not just talking about your home or your family or your bad back. Can you change the universe? And and they're saying, yeah, not only can you,
You will.
you will, and you're going to have to.
Otherwise, you know, there are other beings in this universe.
Well,
you don't move, they will make you suffer.
Well, people,
to become happy.
There are beings that will help you, but ultimately you're going to have to do it for yourself if you want to get out of suffering, right?
Yeah.
It's your mind is creating it, and your mind's going to have to change it, which is, and it's fun, right? Like it's not like when you start understanding this, like it's
yeah, and
it's a lot of fun. Like you start seeing really cool things. I mean, frankly, like if you hang around some of these monks who've been practicing, like you see cool things, right? Like it's not like occasionally they'll demonstrate to you that, oh, look, it's possible to do things that you didn't imagine. Like you'll see it. And then you're like, okay, well, there's no way that happened if the world is just a random jigsaw puzzle that somehow came together out of physical parts, right? You know, it's like something's happening.
And actually, the key how you will make it happen yourself, you should understand why the pen is not only a collection of its parts. Once you understand it, then you will understand how you will get enlightened.
Well, and it's also interesting because it's like it's not that a dog sees a pen
and just stupid.
Yeah, and just stupid. He's a dog because he sees a chew toy. It's because he sees a chew toy, he's a dog. He can't be a human, right? Like his seeds are forcing him to see doggy stuff, right? And then it's when you think about it like that, it's like, oh, okay, well, you know, humans, you know, they get smarter, and they lose their mental abilities.
Awesome.
And, you know, well, how far is that going to go? You know, like how much better could it get? How much worse could it get, right? And you know, that's what makes you human. You see a pen, right? Like you have these ripenings, a limited number of mental seeds that allow you to see fingers that can pick up a pen and write and read. And then when those seeds are gone, you're going to see something else. Your mind's not going to stop. You can't stop your mind. And so then you're going to get whatever you did for somebody else in the past. And so if you were, you know, they say a lot of times that dogs in monasteries are monks who didn't keep their ethics. Uh, and so and then
Remember hives in the tantric monastery?
yeah,
I was wondering, like, who are the beings? Like, we visited a secret monastery, and all the windows, I have seen it for the first time in my life. I mean, it was a little bit horrifying, to be honest. All the windows were with huge hives, where this wild
beehive.
bees are sitting, like sometimes one window would have 3 hives, like
Well,
that
and they would be
that
as
size.
yeah, they were huge. They were like the size of like what's that size?
Like 1 meter,
Yeah,
uh,
like enormous.
long. Thousands of bees in every single beehive, and you're walking around and thinking, who are those beings who are attracted to this monastery, right? To create that many beehives. So up to you to think.
And so it's not that like there's some dog body that's laying there and then your mind travels into the dog body and then you're trapped inside the dog body. Yeah, embodied. It's that's kind of you'll see sometimes that explanation, but it's a lower school explanation. What's really happening is that your mind is projecting
A new body.
a new body. It can project a paw as easily as it can project a hand, right? Or it could project light. Like, you could have a dog body, human body, enlightened body, right? It's going to be your mental projections that do it. And it's what makes you human or a dog, you know. And it's frankly part of the reason why it's so extraordinary to be human is that our experience is coherent. It's stable. We have the resources that we need. We have the ability to think clearly for a while. I mean, you can imagine being in enough suffering that you couldn't think clearly anymore.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do, right? We've all had moments like that here as humans.
Yeah, and also many people, they ask like, okay, a human sees this thing. Oh, let's get less fancy one. Oh, by the way, this one I bought in Cerame.
Yeah, those were good
at the shop.
They had good pens at Cerame.
Yeah, monks, they use usually this one. So a human sees a pen, right? What does it mean a human sees this thing as a pen? It means then when I lay my eyes on it, I have an automatic idea what this is, like you can slow down and zoom in this second when you see something, and then you will almost feel like this idea pops up in your mind, like a windows in the computer that pops up, like boom, a pen. I can write with it, right? It has a definition in your mind. You can write with it. So when a dog sees it, a similar window pops up with something else. Ooh, cool stuff. Can chew on it, like automatic thought. Neither human nor a dog has a choice to choose what they think. This automatic idea is forced on you. Upon you? On you?
Forced on you.
Forced on you. So when people, they hear it and they say, oh, I also can see it as a chewing toy. I mean, look at me now. Does it mean I became a dog? No, A human can imagine how a dog sees this thing, but you do not see this as a true toy, you see? So the same collection of parts for me gives an automatic idea. I can write with it. For a dog, it gives an automatic idea, cool to chew on it. And this is, it's not because I'm a human, I have this idea. This is a very important thing. It took me also many years to understand. I do not see it as a pen because I'm a human. It's the opposite. Because I see this is a pen, this is what makes me a human. This is an important idea, and maybe you will have to listen to it again to really understand. Because a dog sees this as a chewing toy, this is what makes it a dog.
Mm-hmm. You're not already a dog thinking thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking thoughts that make you a dog. It's like a blank screen that you're painting. There is nothing on that blank screen originally until you paint on it. It's the painting that makes it a human or a dog, a pen or a chew toy.
Otherwise, this is just a bunch of colors and shapes without a seed projected by a human, by a dog. This is just a meaningless bunch of shapes and colors.
And then, like, what's determining these mental projections? Yeah, the actions. Yeah.
From yesterday.
The actions you've taken towards others, right? Which is why whenever you're talking about emptiness, you're going to talk about karma. And as soon as you're talking about karma, you're talking about treating other people the way you want to be treated. It's just that simple, right?
I have a question. We will go half an hour more.
What?
Do you want to change translators, Artyom? Then please do it.
How any more questions do we have?
3 questions.
Okay, all right.
I think we are through the explanatory.
I mean, you see why, like
they're changing translators,
okay.
Meaning we are.
Zakrit litsu? What? Gola?
Rot.
Rot. Zakrit rot. Yeah. Oh, gentil.
Good. Okay. Let's go on. So why we were talking about all this stuff is because only if you will understand the connection between emptiness and bodhisattva, you will be able to make progress on this path. Meaning fake bodhisattva, or like how we call it, deceptive bodhisattva, right? Having deceptive bodhicitta, not really efficient, because in order to change something, you basically need to change seeds. And to change your seeds, you should understand emptiness. Nothing should be the way it is. Your hand can be made out of meat. It can be a dog's paw. It can be a hand made of light of an enlightened being. It doesn't have any self nature.
Which, if you were here for class yesterday, I mean, that's why Jesus said, truly there are some here who will see the kingdom of heaven before they die.
Yes, I did. So that's the New Testament. I was given long time ago, probably like Oh, there is a date actually, by an American priest, pastor called John Caldwell from North Carolina, US, 9th of September, 93.
Mm.
This is where I got the book. The New Testament, chapter, St. John's New Testament,
Could be like 51, right?
chapter 8, verse 51. Verily, verily, which is truly, truly.
Yeah. Like
I
I'm not bullshitting you.
Yeah. True and real. My son would say true and real. So he says, true and real. I say to you, if a man keeps follows what I say, keep my saying, he shall never see death. And man here means human, of course, not only males. And then I love the most the last verses. What did they do? Oh, verse 59. They took up stones to throw them into him.
They pick up stones to throw at him. Yeah. No, I think that's hilarious.
So, by the way, it's funny. Christians, they don't know that Jesus was teaching how not to die.
Why is it possible? Why is it possible to? This is the King James version. There's more modern translations. But why is that possible? Why is it possible to get to the kingdom of heaven? You know, you're not going to get in a rocket ship and fly there, right? I mean, you know, Elon Musk may give it a try, but it's not going to work for him, right? You can get there because of emptiness. You can get there because of karma. Like if you really start following this path, which we have, that's been clearly laid out for us, the changes are that dramatic, right? Like you don't have to die.
And these are not just stories and fairy tales. I mean, I have just published a diamond cutter translation into Ukrainian. If you have this book, you can see the stories from real people who just applied, not even forget about ACI, just in their life, they stopped hurting other people and started helping them and see how their life changed. Forget about enlightenment, just to improve their life.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty dramatic. I mean, look, we've personally seen people with some really dramatic, like things that you would have thought were impossible.
In different fields, relationships, health, finances, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It works. Okay, so let's go to the third question. So what about nirvana, right? They discuss this term in this book. And there are so many weird ideas about what nirvana is. It is important to discuss, because if you will understand what it is, you will definitely want to get this one. Because in Tibetan, nirvana is Nyanyan Ledepa, or Nyanyan. And it means beyond sorrow. Sorrow is a very specific word. It's a coded word because it means that it's a pair of karma and mental afflictions. It is discussed by Choni Lama Drakpa Shedrup in the commentary. What does it mean? Like, aren't my mental afflictions coming from karma? Yes, they do. So I can have anger, and I have seeds for anger. So, and not only for anger, I can also have some seeds for jealousy, a little bit for ignorance, a little bit for pride, etc. Right? Lots of seeds for future weeds, not flowers, right? So when you can stop it all together, this is when they consider in these teachings that you stopped your suffering. So pass beyond means to eliminate it permanently. And I was, I'm a medical doctor, and honestly, I was not really interested. I was never interested in making money being a medical doctor, because this is why probably I was born in Ukraine, where it is impossible to make real money with being a medical doctor. But I was really excited about the idea, if I can figure out how to stop people from even the possibility to get sick, right? Not forget about heal them. Like, can I figure out how to eliminate any possibility to get sick? And this is how you can eliminate this possibility. It's when you will stop all the seeds in your mind that will give you stupid idea to hurt another person in order to get something, or to get rid of something that you do not like. And to get to nirvana, you have to have the direct perception of emptiness, because this is when you start really applying these teachings to your life.
I can confirm she has zero interest in making money as a doctor. Like every once in a while, every once in a while we'll see like, oh, doctors make this much in America, right? Like you can make $1 million a year as a doctor here. And but she zero interest, zero. She just wants to do this path. Because and why, right? It's not that there's anything
hopeless.
Well, yeah, it's not that there's anything wrong with $1 million a year. I mean, that would be great, but there's lots of good things you could do with.
Slow down. Okay, now she caught up.
There's a lot of things you could do with $1 million a year to help people, right? But if you're just busy treating symptoms, it's not on the highest level. It doesn't have the potential that this does to really bring something good into your life. Like even $1 million a year is just nothing. It's just a distraction compared to the potential of understanding karma and emptiness.
Yeah. So how do you do, what do you do to reach nirvana? Actually, I think we should mention that there is a very special tool in our lineage, and we actually want you to make a commitment to do something, okay? Actually, if you trust us, you can do it right now. Bill loves to see people, what they do. I cannot really. Oh, I know how I can do it. That's it. Okay. So now raise your right hand and say, I promise to reach total bliss so I can teach other people how to do it. And I will tell you what you just promised. You promised to do the 6 times book for 5 days, okay? We have friends in California. They have offered to us they have created a very comfortable, very
It's
how to say,
beautiful.
beautiful notebook, like a book for 6 times books. So this is where I'm writing my stuff right now. My 6 times book. You can get your own. If you do not observe what you think, there is no chance you can apply it. Really, the very first step, if you are new to this program, to this lineage, then do this. Pick just a copybook, a notebook, and 6 times a day. If you don't have any vows, nothing, just watch 10 good or bad deeds, right? No killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no lying. No splitting other people, no harsh speech, no idle talking. I will not be jealous. I will not be angry, right? No ill will, and I will remember where things are coming from. Or the opposite, I will help other people to stay healthy and alive and beings, right? I will help other people's health. I will, I don't know what Taras sent, probably because he is a genius IT guy, probably he created something already, some kind of application or website. Maybe you can check it out. So helping people and living beings to live, then keep their resources, help them to keep their resources, and what respect other people's relationships, be honest, unless you will kill another person with your honesty, then get away somehow. Don't kill other people, right, with your honesty. Then connect people, right, instead of splitting them up. Be nice, talk to people nicely, think of the words you use, then use your time and your speech wisely. Don't do anything stupid and useless. Be happy when people get what they want, and how you call it, compassionate when something bad happens to other people, even you don't like these people, even you think they're bad people, and remember where things are coming from. Even you will do these 10 things, I claim, if you have never done it, your life will change. Give it some kind of, I don't know, couple months, and you will see what will be happening, right? So
sometimes things can change quickly, like almost instantly, frankly.
And this is just the very first level, Then once you will learn to do your 6 times book with this easy stuff, there are upper levels that are getting more sophisticated, and your seeds that you will be planting will become more and more powerful.
So we got 2 more questions, and we should finish up kind of on time.
Easy. Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking if I didn't miss anything. Let's do the next question.
Gotcha.
My favorite. This is my favorite question.
That's your favorite?
Then, because I want to plant good seeds, I will let Bill do it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. This is a term you're going to hear repeatedly throughout your Dharma career. This is the object we deny. And that is, it's really pretty simple. It's something that could exist without you projecting a mental label onto parts. Just that simple. It's something that would exist without the participation of your mind and the karma that's driving your mind. So, and Geshe says it's like as bizarre as looking for something that would have. Boy, this is difficult. Like people would say,
I think the picture is very self-explanatory.
right? Yeah.
So, and by the way, thank you, volunteers, because all the pictures are done by volunteers, and it's such an
They're great.
amazing job. This is the best picture of
Two-headed
gacha
purple
I have ever seen.
Right. Yeah, they're saying that a gotcha is as bizarre and as unlikely as a two-headed purple elephant running around our apartment right now. So,
I mean, if I will ask you, look at the 10 meters tall purple elephant, two-headed purple elephant behind you, you probably will not even turn your head, right? If I would say, oh, there is a rat or something, in the room, you probably would start looking around, right? But not huge purple two-headed elephant. Because it's not that it does not exist in your room. It does not exist at all.
Yeah.
Cannot exist, never existed, will never exist.
And then each one of the 4 different ancient Indian schools of thought on emptiness has a different definition of what the gaksha is. And it's really super fun and super interesting to go through the discussion of, well, exactly what is it that's not there? And we think it's there, right? I mean, that's, I think, what probably baffles enlightened beings is that we think it's there, and they're just like, well, stop looking for the two-headed, stop acting like there's a two-headed purple elephant in the room, because all of our wrong actions are coming because we're acting like there is a two-headed purple elephant in the room. And what do I mean by that?
You mean that imagine you are entering a room and the light is not like it's quite dark, and you see something in the corner that is roundish, like a circle or something, and out of a sudden you are afraid that it's a snake, and you jump and you break your leg, but there was a rope. So can you imagine how we look like for enlightened beings? It's like jumping out because we see the snake instead of the rope, and breaking our legs.
Yeah, it's nothing has a characteristic from its own side until your mind labels it that way. It's really, it's hard to imagine, right? But there it is. That's the gotcha, the object that we deny. Do you want to discuss that more, or?
I think the only I think I want to add that you are a real bodhisattva only if you understand emptiness. Just to remind, and this book, the Diamond Cutter Sutra, can be really dangerous if people do not understand it, really, because what it says, like there's nobody to save for a bodhisattva, right? And there were people who took it literally, like, yeah, okay, nobody to save, just sit and pretend
I didn't want to do anything today anyway.
Yeah, and emptiness is about this fact that we act as we constantly have this two-headed purple elephant, 10 meters tall, rampaging through the room, and there is no elephant, never was an elephant, impossible to have this elephant anywhere.
And again, it's impossible. Like we're going to think that there's an elephant in the room until we have until we have the direct perception of emptiness. We're going to think that the things around us have some kind of quality of their own. That, like my wife is pretty in and of herself, right? Because she's pretty. Or, my boss is angry and yelling because he's a jerk, and it's in him, right?
Yeah. And this is why we have afflictions, right? This is why we were talking about nirvana, right?
Well,
a few minutes ago.
Because if your boss is yelling at you and he exists from his own side, if he is a bad person, because that's who he is, independent of anything I've ever done, well, then I can get angry at him because he's bad and he should change. If he's angry and yelling at me because I got angry and yelled at somebody in the past, well, then I'm the one that has to change, right? And then when he yells at me, then all I've done is lose my old bad seeds. And then I'm done with it, like finish, right?
And this is why Jesus, he was teaching, like, if somebody hit you on one cheek, then turn the other one,
Turn the other cheek and let him hit
I
that
was
side.
like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
It's already painful once.
Yeah. Yeah. That phrase always really, particularly coming out of the military, that bothered me. What do you mean let them hit me twice? That's stupid.
Okay, so the only thing I think I can add about afflictions is, and Gaksha, is every time you have your mental affliction, this is really serious. Now I'm very serious. Every time you have an episode of anger or jealousy or something like that, you push yourself closer to death, closer to death. Every mental affliction you have pushes you to die faster, because on the physical level, what you do is you are choking your channel where your life energy is how to say, going
flowing,
running, flowing. So let's see what left. Okay, I was going to, one more idea is, I hope it was clear that you can get to ultimate bodhicitta before fake bodhicitta, because it's different. Somebody can see emptiness directly and without really previously acting much as a bodhisattva get this experience. This is what Geshe Michael is talking about in the class at the very least, and I trust him. And if you have fake bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta, this is called perfection of wisdom.
Deceptive bodhicitta.
Yeah, fake is deceptive. If you act as a bodhisattva and you understand emptiness, you have seen emptiness directly. This is what is called the perfection of wisdom. Why are we talking about perfection of wisdom? This is how Buddha Shakyamuni wanted to name this sutra, the Diamond Cutter Sutra. He said, let's name it the teaching on perfection of wisdom. And we named it the Diamond Cutter Sutra. Okay, the last thing is nirvana is not enlightenment, right? For enlightenment, you still need omniscience and other stuff. And I think we have the last question left. So why is it true then that when we look for a thing, we label with our names and concepts, we cannot find it? That's a beautiful picture.
Mhm.
If you will think about it, and now this question is not really obvious and it may take you a couple weeks or years to understand it, why Geshe Michael is talking about these things here. But actually, if you will think logically, there are only three possibilities to find a thing if you look at. Either you will say, as we were talking already, the pen is a collection of parts. Either it's different from the collection of parts, right? Or second is it's a labeled object, right?
Yeah, we'd already discussed this earlier.
Yeah, we did.
So,
But we didn't come to the question.
yeah. It's easy.
Is it?
Right? I mean, like, so like Ina, like the idea of Ina. She's not one thing because she has an arm.
I'm collection of my parts. What's wrong with this?
Yeah. Well, so but we can go through. You want to go through an order for the question, or do you want to?
I think yeah, let's go through the order.
So she's not one thing, right? Because she has parts, right? So like if you, well, you're pretty. You so she's made of parts. That's kind of obvious, right? Like there's not like one block of solid thing that's Ina, right?
Why this is not true? Let's say the moment I will die, I will be same collection of parts and not Ina anymore.
No.
Right?
No.
Or like you can have the same parts that I name the pen, and same parts for a dog will be something else because it does not write. Okay, it's not different from the parts. That's obvious because it would be stupid, right? Ina is something that is not connected to her parts. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little bit off.
Not one thing. And not
different.
like, not a collection of the parts, and not something other than the parts. Okay, well, the first two, the first one and the third one are really obvious, right? So she's not one thing because there's more than one thing there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not something other than her parts, right? Because that's, like this piece of paper is other than the parts, and clearly this is not Ina.
Mm-hmm.
But then why isn't she the collection of her parts? What else? And we discussed this earlier in the class. Why isn't she the collection of her parts? I mean, it kind of seems like she is.
Because there is something missing. And what is missing is what you have when you look at something and you have this forced upon you, this automatic idea.
Mm.
Okay, that's Bill. This is Aigul. This is Svetlana. This is computer. This is like, oh, that's a book. There is a label that is missing. And this is what creates an object for you.
And this is why this question is coming after the gotcha question, right? Like Geshe-la's classes are brilliant. They always flow for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about what could possibly be there without our mental label. No, that's the two-headed purple elephant. Nothing. But then you take it and say, okay, well, everything I'm seeing about her, not just that I'm taking a blonde lady and thinking she's pretty, but like everything about that projection, right? Like I could be seeing a body of light, right? And it's, or she could be looking at me and seeing a body of light, even, you know, how about that, right? Or she could be seeing herself as a body of light. It's that profound. It's that powerful. Your mental projections have that much ability to change your world, which is why she isn't the collection of her parts.
It's not enough.
It's without the mental label put on it. Your mental labels are giving what you see every characteristic that they have. Which is why this is coming after gotcha. It's really profound. And that's why you can change. That's why you can become enlightened. That's why you can see the kingdom of heaven before you die.
Yeah, without your label, everything you see, without a concept, without this mental picture coming out of your mind, everything you see is just a bunch of fancy colors and shapes. That's it. Nothing else. No meaning. And there are beings who live in the conditions where they do not have seeds to get on some collection of parts and make this collection of parts functional for you. If you see many things that are functioning for you, it means you were extraordinary in helping other people. Extraordinary. Because you live in the reality where things function. And you can get enlightened. Anything else we left out?
No, easy class.
Easy class, yeah. Yeah, this is how you can stop your death and all your suffering altogether. If you will understand how this misunderstanding and the behavior coming out of misunderstanding is killing you.
It's cool.
Because same parts you can cover with the different label, and you can see yourself same parts as body of light and enlightened mind. Easy.
Очень круто, Orak.
So I think we had a couple questions, just really quick. My mom tells me unpleasant things, mostly true. I stay calm because I understand about my past seeds. After a while, I become angry, but I keep this anger to myself. Smart. It's better than.
You will struggle, right? We all struggle.
Yeah. Does this short episode of acknowledgement of my past seeds means I understand emptiness a little bit better? Yes, of course. Yeah, you will struggle. And I remember Geshe Michael in his class, he even used a term, the art of not getting angry. Because in these teachings, it will be the most difficult thing you will ever encounter to stop you from getting angry. And it takes time. Don't worry. Just stick to ACI classes and you will get better and better.
Yeah, stay on the path. It's called a path for a reason.
And do your 6 times books. 6 times book. It is very helpful. Maybe you will want to watch your mind every time on the subject of anger, if this is a problem.
You don't have to be perfect to be on the path out of samsara. You wouldn't need to be on the path if you were perfect, right? The path is meant to help us get out, and it works.
Another question: can we have a 2-headed, 100 feet tall elephant existing in the future?
Sure.
We create new things all new time.
Yeah, of course, if you want it.
If you will plant a seed,
If your paradise includes 100-foot tall, two-headed purple elephant, you can have one.
Uh, we showed you the 40-carat diamonds, right? Last time. I was thinking, I was teaching a lot this. You see, I have even pens now with the diamonds. I was teaching a lot the pen, and I was thinking, does it mean can I really transform this thing into a diamond one day? And honestly, if I will share diamonds with other people, and I did share some, to be honest, I think you can. At some point, you maybe not that you will transform it into a diamond, but you will see more diamonds, right? This is how it works.
Boy, if you're gonna project a 10 million.
Boy, I have projected Maria with the same exact pen.
Oh, really?
Look at her.
Oh, yay! Your fairy princess magic wand.
Yeah.
Ting ting.
Okay. So
Good to see you, Todd.
yeah, we will share more about the 6 times book, but here Todd he published actually in PDF. So if you are online right now, you can download it, and we will publish in the groups how to do the 6 times book, because this is the crucial and the most basic practice in this lineage. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Really appreciate everybody being here. Really enjoy talking about these things with you, translators. As always, thank you for putting up with my fast talking.
He tries. Close your eyes and think about the fact that you spent 1 hour, 45 minutes with us trying to become an angel with the body of light, or to evolve, whatever you call it. And just be happy that you planted these seeds, because it is unavoidable. If you have a motivation and you do something, this is called perfection of wisdom.
And
that's exactly it.
And dream about it helping every living being. Hope that somehow, even if you can't understand it, and that it will help every living being, and that the end of all suffering is possible.
See you next Saturday, same time. We love you. Пока-пока.
It's fun. Look forward to talking to you guys again soon.